You get a present, hopefully 8 days a week, but you really don't. I get like one or two on the 8 nights of Hanukkah, so that's good.
Thank you.
Coming up on Citrus TV News at 6, New Yorkers react to the Eric Garner verdict.
Investigators question Michael Brown's stepfather's role in the Ferguson riots.
A bus crash cancels school in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And an American school teacher killed in the United Arab Emirates. Citrus TV News starts right now.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6 for Wednesday, December 3rd. I'm Max Darrow.
And I'm Allie Bauman. A Staten Island grand jury has decided not to indict a New York City police officer in the death of Eric Garner. That's tonight's top story.
A New York police officer will not face charges in the chokehold death of unarmed black Eric Garner.
A grand jury today decided not to indict white police officer Daniel Pantaleo, despite a graphic video showing the officer grab Garner and put him in a chokehold.
Garner died that day due to compression of the neck, and the Supreme Court is looking into whether or not Garner's civil rights were violated.
We have some New Yorkers' reactions this afternoon.
Oh my God, you mean to tell me this is it can't be of no avail? You gotta be kidding me. You really they didn't indict him? Why? Where's the justice at?
This is an outrage. I am very upset about this verdict. I'm standing here because Eric Garner was my friend, and it was over a lousy cigarette. They killed the man.
I think that's crazy. That's ridiculous. I cannot believe that. That is so unfair. Anybody with eyes can see what happened. How in the hell did it go that way?
A lot of people are upset by this decision, and it comes just 1 week after a grand jury chose not to indict Officer Darren Wilson in the death of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri.
We're joined now by the moderator of Talking Points and Citrus TV political correspondent, Nick Cardona. Hi there, Nick. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So, Nick, what's the general reaction about the verdict thus far?
Well, the mayor spoke just about, he finished up his press conference about 15 minutes ago, and it was a peaceful press conference. He really wanted to instill, a lot of, calm the fears that a lot of New Yorkers have. People are piling into Times Square right now, protesting this, but he stressed that this needs to be a peaceful protest. He does not want to see the same things happen in New York that are happening in Ferguson. He doesn't want police cars being torched. He doesn't want businesses being looted. He wants calm protesters, because that's how anything is going to get done, in his opinion. So it was a peaceful press conference.
So what are people saying on Twitter and Facebook and other social media outlets?
Well, a lot of people are just outraged. I mean, there was the difference between the Ferguson shooting of Michael Brown and this one of Eric Garner, the chokehold death. There's no video evidence in the Michael Brown shooting. There is video evidence in this shooting. There is a cell phone video showing an illegal chokehold being done. So that's reaction on social media is kind of just in disbelief that they had this video evidence and they just couldn't, make an indictment. I mean, this is a different case than that of Michael Brown. So I think people should be even more upset at this no indictment than they should be of Officer Darren Wilson in Ferguson.
So speaking of Ferguson, we've now seen two controversial lack of indictments in the past week.
Yeah.
Moving forward, how does this relate, if they relate at all?
Well, they do. I mean, it's just. I honestly think that it's the over-militarization of the police force. That's my opinion on the matter. I mean, a lot of President Obama is instituting a mandatory cameras on police officers now in New York, and Bill Bratton, the police commissioner of New York, was on CBS this morning talking about how this is going to be implemented very soon in New York. And I think that's a step in the right direction for a lot of these folks, because they want video evidence of what's going on. And a lot of facts and a lot of statistics show that the crime rates go down if there are video cameras on the bodies of police officers. So I think that's something that connects the two of them. I think it should be something that we need to look at in the future for police and community relations, because that's a big problem in both Ferguson and now in New York.
And now people are obviously upset. So what comes next for NYPD, New York City, and the United States?
Well, honestly, I think it's just the relationship between the police force in small towns and in big cities. Now that we've seen this, it's a relationship between the police force and the community. That's the main thing that a lot of people are worrying about. They don't want people to feel, they want the citizens to be fearful of their police officers. That's not the job of police officers. I think that's the main thing that a lot of different activists around the country are trying to get across. They're trying to get that point across, that they need to be a community, both police officers and people in the community.
Thanks again. That's Nick Cardona, Citrus TV's political moderator. Thank you. And now we'll go to Brooke Latz with a quick look at the weather.
Thanks, Max. There's a high of, or right now it feels like 37 degrees, but earlier today there was a high of 45. The low tonight will be 30, and it's been very chilly today with wind gusts coming about 22 miles per hour. Looking into tonight, the temperatures will continue to drop, and the humidity is still high from all that rain we'll see. If you, for your full weather forecast and the last Wednesday one of the semester, stay tuned to Citrus TV News. Max and Allie, back to you.
Anybody that's spent a winter in Syracuse knows about water main breaks. Most breaks in the 550 miles of underground water mains happened between December and April. Syracuse had about 3 breaks each week last year, and now the mayor wants to do something about it. Stephanie Miner has sent Governor Cuomo a $1 billion proposal that would focus on improving Syracuse's infrastructure, specifically the water main breaks that have been deteriorating over the last few years. Governor Cuomo still needs to approve the $1 billion plan before it can take effect.
And if you're still looking for some Christmas gifts to bring home to your friends and family, you're in luck. The College of Visual and Performing Arts is hosting its annual mug sale just in time for holiday shopping season. The college's Shape Clay Society is holding the sale today through Friday. Students are set up in the lobby of the Schaefer Art Building each day from 9 to 5. And when Citrus TV returns, severe weather in California has people evacuating their homes.
And the pro-democracy protests continue in Hong Kong. We'll have the latest when we come back.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 110. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Michael Brown's stepfather says he's sorry for making startling comments on the night authorities announced they would not indict Officer Darren Wilson. Videotapes show Lewis Head stepping onto a platform above protesters, yelling, quote, "Burn this expletive down," end quote. In a statement, Head says, quote, "I've lived in this community for a long time. The last thing I truly wanted was to see it go up in flames. In spite of my frustration, it really hurt to see that. Now it's time to rebuild. If we're to honor Michael Brown's memory, we need to work together to make rebuilding happen," end quote. Authorities are investigating the incident after many say Brown's stepfather helped to incite the riots. Officials say it is unlikely, however, Head will face any charges. And classes at 2 Knoxville, Tennessee schools are canceled today as investigators try to find out how 2 school buses collided with each other. 2 primary school students and a school aide died in the crash, while dozens of others were sent to the hospital with injuries. One of the buses was full of middle school students, while the other carried students from 3rd grade and below. And the Supreme Court began hearing arguments today in a case surrounding the discrimination of pregnant women in the workplace. UPS delivery driver Peggy Young brought the case up, arguing that the shipping company denied her request for light duty during her pregnancy. Other issues, such as limited bathroom breaks and not allowing the use of a chair for pregnant women while on the clock, have also caused an uproar. For now, companies are safe for such actions under the current Pregnancy Discrimination Act of 1978. A decision, however, is expected next summer. Moving across the coast, normally California is in the news because of its vast wildfires and its need for rain from its widespread droughts. But tonight, parts of the state are receiving too much rain. Yes, you heard that correctly. California is getting hit yet again with a 3rd batch of heavy rainfall in just 3 days. Authorities fear all of the water could cause mass landslides and are encouraging Californians in the wettest areas to evacuate their homes before it's too late.
An American woman is dead after being attacked in a bathroom at a shopping mall in the United Arab Emirates. The 37-year-old kindergarten teacher was stabbed with a sharp tool after a fight broke out in the bathroom of an Abu Dhabi mall. Police are temporarily caring for her 2 children. Authorities have released this surveillance video of the suspect attacker. You can see the suspect is veiled, wearing a headscarf and a black full-length gown. It's clothing traditionally worn by local Emirati women. Authorities aren't sure what led to the fight and say the attacker got away. And as the effort to degrade and destroy ISIS continues, a few new developments in the region are turning heads. The former wife of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is held by Lebanese military after trying to cross into the country with fake documents. She was detained along with a child after trying to cross into Lebanon from Syria, and the Pentagon is confirming today that Iran is performing airstrikes against ISIS. Secretary of State John Kerry says the U.S. has not been coordinating operations with the country. The pro-democracy protests continue in Hong Kong today, but without 3 major figures. 3 men voluntarily turned themselves into police today. All men are co-founders of an organization that's been protesting for weeks, and they are urging the student protesters to retreat as well. The student groups have given no indication they plan to stop protesting, and they continue to call for an open election for the city's next leader.
And now it's time for your full weather forecast with Citrus TV's weather anchor, Brooke Glatz.
Thanks, Max. Today we had pretty rainy afternoon. The current temperature is 37, but the high earlier today was 45. The low tonight will be 30, which we'll feel especially because of those winds coming from the west at about 22 miles per hour. It currently feels like 26 because of those winds, though. Humidity was high because of the rain, and precipitation was 15%. Moving into tonight, we can see that we'll have partly cloudy skies. Some rain might still be there. We have about 20% chance of precipitation, so you might need that umbrella still. The low will be 30, and the winds are still going to be pretty strong, about 16 miles per hour coming from the west again. Moving into tomorrow, we can see that no more rain, hopefully. Skies will be mostly cloudy, and then later on in the afternoon, it might get a little sunnier. The high tomorrow will be 33, and the low will be 27, so pretty cold, but not as cold as what we're used to this time of year. Moving on to the current temperatures, we can see that in Syracuse it's 37, and it's pretty chilly throughout most of the northeast. Albany at 44, Buffalo at 35. It doesn't get much warmer until you get down into Philadelphia, where it's about 47, but still pretty chilly. Moving on, we can see that the current dew points for the country, most of the northwest and the midwest are pretty dry. The northeast right now is in the range between comfortable and dry, so it's not too bad at the moment, but you won't get to see those comfortable until you're down into the south. Moving on into the current precipitation, we see that there's nothing really going on right now, just a light precipitation, and that's going to keep moving forward. So for the next couple days, we hopefully won't be seeing anything. And moving on to the 5-day forecast, we can see that right now it is raining a little bit, and that's going to clear up though for the rest of the week. It's going to be partly cloudy skies on Thursday and Friday. Chance of snow or rain on Saturday. The temperature is going to be a little iffy. We're not sure if it's going to be quite cold enough for that. Temperatures will be in the 30s and 40s, and lows in the 30s and 20s.
All right, Brooke, now I know it's early December, but it's still Syracuse, so what's up with this rain? Is this normal?
You know, it's really not. I would expect to see a lot more snow at this time of year, but we had a very unseasonably warm couple days ago, so that's kind of messing up that whole thing and making it a little too warm for rain or for snow.
Brooke, thanks so much for joining us. And coming up, Cyber Monday was widely expected to fall flat this year, but we've got some numbers that might surprise you.
And a popular video game system turns 20 today. Stick around to see who's celebrating when CitrusTV returns.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
We are different. Society should aspire to be more like us.
Be part of the first class. Get energized. Get outside.
Hold on, guys. It's gonna get bumpy.
And get moving. Experience the power of physical activity. Join the movement at ActionHeroAlliance.com.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A new study by the Center for Health Statistics says that 8% of Americans have depression, but only a third of that are receiving treatment for it.
The study was done over 3 years and also found that middle-aged women are most likely to be depressed, while teenage boys are least likely.
Experts say that the most effective treatment for depression is a combination of drugs and counseling, and urge those affected to seek help.
And another study says that boys are more likely to be aggressive in relationships than girls. Nearly all of the kids surveyed said they had written a mean comment or said something nasty to one another during the 4-year study.
90% of those kids had been the victim of that behavior, but girls were more likely to be the victims, while boys were usually the aggressors.
Well, Allie, it's official. Cyber Monday 2014 was the biggest e-commerce day ever.
This coming days after the National Retail Federation estimated that sales over Thanksgiving break and Black Friday, both in-store and online, were a bust.
Internet sales on the Monday following Thanksgiving hit $2 billion, up 17% from last year, according to the analytics firm ComScore.
And happy birthday, PlayStation. That's right, the Sony gaming system was first created 20 years ago today in Japan.
Well, the original PlayStation made its way over from Tokyo to North America less than a year later, on September 9th, 1995. 4 main consoles, 2 portable gaming products, and several other redesigns later, PlayStation has released their newest model in celebration of the 2 decades in the technology industry.
And it's a gray PS4 with a limited edition of 12,000, created in homage to the first ever PlayStation gaming console, and the cost, $499. So you can celebrate by getting one of those. Now, Warner Brothers has officially announced the cast for the highly anticipated movie Suicide Squad.
I know, I was looking forward to it, and it's starring Will Smith, Jay Courtney, Cara Delevingne, Tom Hardy, Margot Robbie, and Jared Leto. The film will follow 6 infamous supervillains known from the DC Comics as the Suicide Squad.
And there's a lot of anticipation surrounding the Oscar winner Jared Leto's performance of the Joker. Suicide Squad will be released in the summer of 2016.
And the allegations of sexual assault keep piling up against comedian Bill Cosby. A woman filed a lawsuit against the star in a Los Angeles court yesterday.
She alleges Cosby molested her at the Playboy Mansion when she was just 15 years old. Cosby has been the center of a whirlwind of similar claims. 20 other women have come forward in recent weeks saying the actor assaulted them as well.
Coming up in sports, we'll give you the lowdown on the SU men's basketball team, that Big Ten ACC Challenge, the women's ice hockey team, and a little NBA action when we return in 2.
My friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Turning a 20-foot wall into a canvas takes vision. So we're getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these 2. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're gonna be hanging out a little bit more.
As the cold intensifies, so does the schedule for the SU basketball team. After the comfort of 2 home wins at home against Holy Cross and Loyola, the Cuse took to the road up to Ann Arbor, Michigan, as they faced the Wolverines in a rematch of its Final Four plight in the NCAA tournament of 2013. The ever-pensive Jim Boeheim on courtside, and the name of this game was 3-pointers. That's Spike Albrecht for 3, and looks like a replay here, but that was actually Albrecht again for 3, and SU tried to get in on the 3-pointer party here. Caleb Joseph with one of his own off the back of the rim, and it's Trevor Cooney who finally gets in the swing of things here, makes a 3 for SU to close the gap, and now it's Cooney again from the perimeter, draining another one, and threes were just raining in this game, and the Wolverines coming back here with Albrecht again. He just can't miss, and the Wolverines go up 66-65. The Cuse have a chance here, and Chris McCullough throws it past Caleb Joseph out of bounds on this one, and looks like the Cuse are out of it, but don't count them out just yet. Caleb Joseph charging down the court. He loses the ball in transition. Once again, looks like the Cuse might be finished. They have time for one more shot here. Looking like Tyler Ennis, but it falls just short, and the Cuse fall by 3 to Michigan. And Santa Claus isn't the only one spreading Christmas joy in the month of December. Rakeem Christmas is one of 250 nominees for the All-State Good Works team. The 6'9" graduate is being honored for his active participation in the Syracuse community. Some organizations Christmas has taken part in include the local Boys and Girls Club and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The SU women's ice hockey team was also on the road last night, but didn't travel quite as far as Michigan. The Orange faced off against Central New York rival Big Red of Cornell, and SU found itself trailing 1-0 after a Brianna Vierman goal late in the first period. Syracuse reciprocated with a goal of its own late in the third, but just couldn't catch the Big Red, as Cornell put a total of 6 goals past SU goalie Jen Gilligan out of a total of 24 shots. The Orange picked up its second consecutive loss of the season. Coach Paul Flanagan's squad returns home this Saturday to take on the RIT Tigers at the Tennessee Ice Pavilion. And back to the ACC Big Ten Challenge. It's Louisville, Ohio State here, and that was an alley-oop for Louisville going up here with the lead, and again for a 3 on the perimeter. Ohio State trying to close the gap with the ball, and they just can't seem to catch up to Louisville. D'Angelo Russell, it drives into the paint here and lays one in, kind of bringing up the morale for Ohio State, but just couldn't catch the Cardinals. Terry Rozier hits the 3 for Louisville, puts a bow on this one, and Louisville takes the win 64-55. Lionel Hollings and the Nets with a short trip over to MSG, and it's Darren Williams with a pass to Bogdanovic, who finds Brooke Lopez in the paint, and the Nets go up 6-2. After having a 4-point lead at the break, Darren Williams at the key finds the net for the 3-pointer and gives the Nets their largest lead of the game. Knicks fighting back with Melo moving the ball around, and it's Jose Calderon. Boom goes the dynamite with a 3-pointer. Knicks trail by just 3 at this point. 17 seconds left in the game, and Melo with the ball. Fisher seems to be trying to call a timeout on the sidelines. Melo pulls up off the back of the rim, and the Nets secure this one for the win.
Well, thank you, Lauren. And coming up, we'll have one final look at the weather.
The Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then, and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Hey, my name's Katie and I'm in the 9th grade. I'm an A average student and I'm an athlete working towards a scholarship. And everybody tells me how much potential I have. But I just wish someone would tell me where my next meal is coming from. Katie, how'd I do?
Do you have to be so serious?
Well, I mean, I did like a crazy dance in a movie if you want me to do a little, no.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
And now we'll head over to weather anchor Brooke Glatz for one final look at tomorrow's weather.
Thanks, Max. Tomorrow we can see that it's going to be a high of 33 and a low of 31. Mostly cloudy skies throughout the day, and the winds are going to be coming from the west at about 12 miles per hour. Still high humidity, chance of snow is going to be about 20%, and that's your look at tomorrow's weather. Max and Allie, back to you.
Thanks, Brooke. Well, New York City is going to be a little brighter tonight.
The 85-foot Rockefeller Christmas tree will light up tonight at 8 p.m.
Now, this tree lighting tradition started during the Great Depression and has been representing New York ever since.
This year, artists such as Lady Gaga, Tony Bennett, and Mariah Carey will perform during the ceremony.
Well, that does it for us. Thanks for watching Citrus TV News live at 6. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and follow at Citrus TV News on Twitter. I'm Allie Bauman.
And I'm Max Darrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening, Syracuse.